As quickly as baseball appeared, it could be gone just like that. The Miami Marlins are having a problem right now with a lot of positive COVID tests. As of this video, 16 of 18 of the people that have tested positive within the Miami organization are players, which is not good. It forced the cancellation of Marlins games for at least a week until August 3rd. The Phillies, who recently played the Marlins, were supposed to host the Yankees at the start of this week at Citizens Bank Ballpark. That was canceled and postponed. The Phillies players all tested negative from what I'm told. We're going to talk about this situation. Of course, the people that say, why can't there be fans in the stand? Do you now see why that can happen? How bad that could have spiraled out of control if some players just gave it to one fan and it spreads just like that. We're going to talk about the Miami Marlins situation and what it means exactly for the sport of baseball. Hit the like button, subscribe, go nowhere else.
Oh my God, we're not going to get any baseball this year? It's going to cancel already?
No, it's not. I'm going to go over in this video the entire COVID-19 situation in terms of baseball. Let me move this closer because I'm mad far for no reason. In terms of baseball, we have this situation here in Miami. The Marlins, as another player tests positive on Wednesday. Now we are at 18 total reported cases for the Miami Marlins. And out of those 18, I believe 16 are players and 2 are employers or staff or whoever that work for the Miami Marlins organization. And the Marlins were supposed to have their home opener earlier this week. That has been scrapped. And the Marlins, Phillies, and Yankees have had all some type of effect on it. We're going to go over this whole situation. Is it a good situation? Of course not. Now, with the return of baseball, one of the things you expect is increased cases. So everybody jumping out of their socks about this. Oh my God, it's over, it's done, there's no way. That's jumping the gun. Is it good? No, it's not. It's not good. 18 players, or let's 16 players on the Marlins have it. Now, there's 9 players in the starting lineup. You have your relief pitchers, your closer, your starting pitchers. That's a lot of players. Because you think about this, if there's 9 players hitting, 1 pitcher, that's 10. Your relief pitchers, let's say 2 come in a game, that's 11. And your closer. You have more cases total in your team than there would be on average of the amount of players entering the game. Now, there's some good news that comes out of this. The first sign is that the Philadelphia Phillies all tested negative. Of course, the Marlins testing, after they have done and saw these positive cases, they had just got done with a series with the Philadelphia Phillies. So good news for the Phillies, all of them tested negative. Let's go over this entire season, entire season. All 3 games of it. The season's not even a week old. This is from CBS Sports, by the way. And I've already experienced a coronavirus outbreak that will sideline a chunk of its roster and cause multiple games to be postponed. On Wednesday, another Marlins player tested positive, according to Ken Rosenthal. The Marlins are now up to at least 18 positive cases of COVID-19 between players, coaches of the traveling team since opening day, including 6 players testing positive over the last 2 days. The Miami's traveling party remains quarantined in Philadelphia as of Wednesday, and they haven't been the only team impacted by the outbreak. The Orioles returned to Baltimore Monday night, and the Phillies, who hosted the Marlins over the weekend, also had their Monday and Tuesday night games versus the Yankees postponed. Obviously, the Phillies played the Marlins over the weekend, and as this news is coming out, all of the Philadelphia Phillies have to be tested, because now if they don't get tested, and they go on, or they get tested and they say, let's continue with the games anyway, and now 12 players on the Phillies have it, how many players on the Yankees have it? It's just a trend. You know how disease goes. A lot of you are not new to this theory of life. So, the Phillies and Yankees game was postponed Monday. Tuesday, there was more news. They postponed it again. And now the Yankees tonight will resume their baseball play from Camden Yards, if I am correct, against the Orioles. The Phillies hosted the Marlins over the weekend. The Monday and Tuesday night games versus the Yankees were postponed. As a result, the league announced that the Marlins and Phillies will temporarily hit the pause button on the schedule was revised on the fly in an effort to minimize disruption to the season while containing the outbreak. I'm going to give some credit to the MLB. I think they're doing the best possible situation that they can. Obviously, the MLB is the first major sports league to resume their season, and they are the first to be hit with some sort of controversy in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Marlins are not playing The Marlins are next scheduled to play August 4th at home against the Phillies, ironically, though it's possible a game could be added the day before on Monday. So for right now, if you're a Marlins fan, you will be seeing no baseball from your team for a week, and that's the right thing to do, because the Marlins are the center of the outbreak, and you need to make sure that all the players have returned to normal health and are not continuing. It's not continuing to spread around the Miami locker room. The Marlins are the center of the pandemic, and another thing that doesn't help is the fact that Florida, who hasn't really listened. Well, first off, there aren't very many rules in Florida. Florida hasn't listened to a lot of anything throughout the coronavirus pandemic. If I recall, they were the ones that were having a blast on the beach mid-April, mid-spring, when the pandemic was rapidly taking out New York, rapidly taking out New Jersey. There were some 4,500 new cases a day. You didn't know what to do. You didn't know much about the virus. And here's people in Florida having a great time on spring break. Florida. Anyways, I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that Miami's getting it. But it doesn't help the fact that Florida is being ravaged. Now, a lot of it, some people aren't understanding. There's more testing going on in Florida. So when you look at the rate of transmission or the rate of spread, it's still higher, but they're testing more. So obviously with more tests, you're going to get more results. That's just the nature of the game. So the Marlins are done for the week. Their next game comes against the Phillies. The MLB issued the following statement, though, on Tuesday. They said that the health and safety protocols were designed with a challenging circumstance, like the one facing the Marlins in mind. MLB said in a statement, the response outlined in the joint MLB-MLBPA operations manual was triggered immediately upon learning of the cluster of positive cases, including contact tracing and the quarantining and testing of all the identified close contacts. The Marlins personnel who tested positive remain in isolation and are receiving care. Marlins CEO, some of you might know, Derek Jeter, released a statement saying the team is shifting to a daily testing schedule, as they should. We continue to take this entire situation very seriously. All of our players, coaches, and staff are. Obviously, they're having a difficult time enduring this experience. After receiving additional test results on MLB this morning, we reached out to the commissioner's office with concern for health and safety of our team as well as our opponents. We've moved to daily testing schedule as we isolate ourselves and will not be playing until a minimum of next week. Here's the revised schedule. It's worth noting the Phillies have already postponed Friday's restart against Toronto and will instead play a doubleheader on Saturday as the designated road team as Citizens Bank Ballpark. The Blue Jays' 2020 home venue in Buffalo won't be ready for Major League games until August 11th. This is a quick recap, okay? We got some news going into July 29th here. Okay, so here we go. Strap yourselves in. All Marlins games have been postponed through Sunday, including scheduled series against Baltimore and Nationals. There will be no Marlins games for the rest of the week. The Phillies-Yankees home-and-home series has been postponed. The Phillies finished their series with Miami and were scheduled to host the incoming Yankees. That was halted. The Yankees now will play the Orioles in Baltimore today and tomorrow. Miami's next game as of right now would be August 4th against the Phillies. Washington will not play any games this weekend. Excuse me, wait a minute. Oh, that's because Washington was supposed to play... Who was Washington supposed to play? Let me see this here. Washington was supposed to play Toronto. Well, Toronto Stadium's not ready anyway. Okay. How did the Marlins get here? The Marlins first had a positive test on opening day when George Alfaro was placed on the injured list shortly after the team's season opener in Philadelphia. Here's a timeline of what happened between them and Monday. Friday, July 24th, opening day versus Philadelphia. George Alfaro tests positive and misses opener. No other Marlins have positive results on this day. A couple days later, Sunday, 3 other players, including the scheduled starter Jose Urena, reportedly tested positive. He's scratched from the Sunday start. The rest of the team learns about the positive results but decides to play Sunday's game as scheduled. They figure, well, you know what? It's only 3 players. Take the precautions, scratch them from the lineup. It hits the fan on Monday. Monday, July 27th is when it really starts to pick up. Another round of testing shows a full outbreak for the Marlins. 11 players test positive for COVID, and reportedly at least 14 total team members are positive. MLB postpones the Marlins Monday night opener against the Orioles in Miami, and the team stays quarantined in Philadelphia. Tuesday, July 28th, yesterday, 4 more players test positive for the virus. The Marlins stay in place in Philadelphia. 1 player who previously tested positive is now negative, so it's good to see that a player that has tested positive, the virus is circulated through his system. The league issued a press release announcing the Marlins aren't going to play until Monday, August 3rd. Today, July 29th, another Miami Marlins player tests positive. That brings the total to 18, 16 players and 2 coaches. Miami's opening day starter, Sandy Alcantara, I said that wrong, among the players to test positive, according to John Heyman. I believe this is all the news I got here. The MLB is doing whatever they can. Obviously, we knew that professional sports was going to get hit with some kind of situation. We didn't know if it was going to be baseball or not. It doesn't help that it's in Miami. As we know, Florida has had a cluster of coronavirus positive cases. And one of the things I want to mention, it's not that I don't think the virus is serious. It's very serious. But part of the problem is, at least in Florida, is from what I'm hearing is a lot of botched test results, a lot of people that are passing away, having some type of illness. Oh, this person died. COVID, write it down. COVID, write it down. The virus is real and it's deadly. But who it's deadly to, that is the question. The MLB, the second they found out, some of you could say, well, they should have acted sooner. 3 players on a roster of 50 plus is not a lot. Once they had the 11 test positive, that was where it was, whoa. Time to hit the brakes. Time to pump the brakes on this. The Marlins are the center of this for at least a week. Could be longer. Now, what happens tomorrow if they test again and 10 more players test positive? If it gets to a point where every player on the Marlins is starting to test positive, they might not even have baseball for the rest of the... Marlins might not even have a season. That's where the question becomes, what do you do? What happens if this outbreak takes place on another team and it becomes a league filled with minor league baseball? It gets to a point where you want to watch Major League Baseball and it starts to become an unenjoyable experience because you're watching nothing but minor league players play. This player's not playing. Aaron Judge has it. He's not playing. Mike Trout has it. And we all know what the Angels are without Mike Trout. That's where the problem comes. If this blows over and it's good, all right. You expect cases. But I think the 11 cases that came out of the door Monday morning, or whatever time of day they tested, the MLB wasn't expecting that. They said 3, okay, 4, 1, boom, 11. Okay, this is real. The Marlins can't play anybody. The Phillies need to be taken under precaution because the same thing could happen. What if tomorrow 10 players test positive on Philly? Of course, any of the teams that are playing Philly, they can't play. It's a train and it's a trickle effect, and we all know this. What happens next? You let it blow over. The Yankees didn't play the Phillies. Well, there's regular testing for the MLB regardless, because let's be real here. It's the Marlins aren't the only source of where the virus comes from. But we're gonna see how this goes. What's gonna be interesting to see in all of sports before I get off here is the next couple of weeks. Why the next couple of weeks? The next couple of weeks are interesting because you have hockey coming back. Hockey's indoors, it's close contact. You have basketball. The one that really is going to blow my mind, if they can execute and get it thoroughly with healthy rosters, how are they planning to execute basketball? You have 10 guys on the court breathing heavily in front of each other in close proximity. Picture yourself in a gymnasium with 10 people, and you're not just regular breathing, you're breathing heavy. You're breathing fast. Basketball is going to be the tricky one. This is the first situation that professional sports has found, and it is going down as the Miami Marlins outbreak. That's the way I'm labeling it. What happens next? You get tested every day. Every single day, these Miami Marlins players need to be tested. The Philadelphia Phillies players need to be tested. How they test the other players, I don't know. The MLB, well, here's the thing. The MLB is not making the revenue that they're normally making. But the MLB has more than enough money for tests, let's be honest. The Marlins have to be tested every single day. The Phillies need to be tested, I would say, every single day. And any other team that has 3 or more players test positive need to be tested. That's all I got today. We might do 3 days in a row here. Tomorrow could be the SummerSlam. How I would book, I've never done this before, how I would book SummerSlam coming up in August. And then we could get it started, which started my YouTube channel last year. Ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the full football previews. We're going to get it started in the AFC East, and we're going to preview every single position and what is to expect from the AFC East in the NFL season. Hit the like button, subscribe, stay safe.